Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques. What's up, folks? As we know, we did lose against the Indianapolis Colts. A lot of issues in this game against a team that just lost their quarterback. We were not able to pull the game out. A lot of issues, again, with the Tennessee Titans losing 23-16 there in Indianapolis. We have a lot to talk about for this game, Jacques. Hey, man, we got to play better than this, dude.
I agree. Again, it's the inconsistency, man, that's killing us. And I know we did our pregame and our schedule release show, and we had us winning this game, right?
Yep.
But I want to apologize to the Colts because I underestimated the Colts from a perspective of an AR perspective, right? Anthony Richardson, thinking that he's going to be a rookie. But, I mean, he's done a tremendous job of what he's been able to do from his 4 or 5 games that he's played. Now, we know he got hurt or whatnot. But from what the Titans did, man, this is alarming. Not surprised, if that makes sense. And to be honest with you, man, I don't know if we're a good football team. Let me say this, or at least a mid football team. But this is not good, man. This is not good.
Yep.
And you dropped one to a divisional opponent. Now we're 0-1 in the division, at the bottom of the division. I think Houston is still playing right now. I think they're, if I'm staying corrected, I think when last time I checked, they were losing to Atlanta. Jacksonville was able to pull out today when they played the Bills. So it's not good, man. It's not looking good.
No, it's not, man. And when you look at the Tennessee Titans overall today, when you look at the defense, a lot of lack of effort out there on defense, a lot of opportunities for us to make plays, and we didn't do that. And then even on offense, when you look at the fact that we were in the red zone 5 times this game and all we did was muster up a lot of field goals and only 1 touchdown, that's a problem for sure. Right. So let's get into it, man. So, Jacques, we lose to the Indianapolis Colts again, 23-16. Give us 2 reasons as to why we lost against the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay, so I'm going to go on both sides of the ball today. So first I'm going to go on the offensive side of the ball. And somebody said it in the comments section. Now, you had some good things, right? But you don't get in the red zone 4 times and not come out there with at least touchdowns, right? We have suffered and we have had a problem with scoring touchdowns in the red zone this year. Okay, I don't know our percentage. I don't know what we are. I don't know where we rank. But we have a problem, okay? Nick Foltz has helped us. He has gotten us where we need to be. But when we're in the red zone, Tim Kelly has an issue with getting and scheming up something where we can score points, all right? That was today, the lack of points, right? Early, they were doing pretty decent. D-Hop, man, statistically had a hell of a game today. Ryan Tannehill until the interception that he just threw, right? What's D-Hop's final numbers? Last time I checked, he had 4 catches for 115. I think it went up.
He had 7 catches today.
Okay, 7 catches for $130? $140, $30. I'm just bidding an estimate on it. But still,
right.
Offensively, we're not scoring points, right?
Yep.
That's the problem. We're not able to score points when we're in the red zone. You don't make 4 trips to the red zone and think you're not going to win the game.
That's right.
And thank you, UW86. He says Houston's 19-18. Come on now, right?
Yep.
Then let's switch to the defensive side of the ball. Now, the defensive side of the ball, they played horrible today, specifically the run defense. We missed Tierre Tart. We need Mr. Pop-Tart out there ASAP, okay? You need to pay that man because he was a glaring hole today. Zach Moss went off. When was the last time the Titans have allowed a 100-yard rusher? I think it was 2022, September of last year is when we allowed the last time we allowed a rusher to rush 100 yards on us. And Zach Moss did it with ease. Yep. Okay? That's the run defense. Let's get to Christian Fulton. I'm so sick of Christian Fulton. I'm done, okay? I'm done, okay? I have a huge problem with Christian. Let's go. He has acquitted to most of our blown 20-yard passes over these past 4 or 5 games that we've played. Okay? Yep. Oh, blown 20 yards, dog. The one play where I think Josh Downing, AR threw it to Josh Downing. If you know anything about playing defensive back, you know you got to get in your stance, get your hips open, back pedal has to be smooth. Christian Fulton is standing up and he's running backwards. Like, what are you doing? Right? It was on him. It was on him in the secondaries on Christian Fulton. And to be honest with you, this is a contract year. I don't bring him back. If they let him go tomorrow, I'm okay with that. I'll rock with what we got. I'll put Trey Avery in there. At least I know he'll make a play.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You can tell Vrabel is he's visually frustrated with Christian Fulton. He has called him out on several occasions.
Yep.
That's the reason why we lost this game today.
Okay.
Not being efficient in the red zone when we need to score points. The defense, when it comes to the secondary, Christian Fulton, and the run defense was horrible. What about you, Hawk?
Facts, no paper. So I'm going to add to that as well, too. So to your point about T.R. Tart not being on the field, how huge that was, right? Pecco on the inside was getting destroyed by the offensive line, right? The run game on the Indianapolis Colts, they had 236 yards rushing, right? Jonathan Taylor only had like 10 yards rushing. Zach Moss went off. Hey, I apologize to Zach Moss because I was on the point of just saying, hey, man, he's all right. He's okay, right? He showed out. He's third in the league in rushing. So I think overall, when you look at our run defense, I was really shocked the fact that we come into the league in this game, one in the league in rush defense, and we played like the worst rush defense in the league this game. I was really shocked of how bad we played in that. So I got to give it to coaching to Shane Bowen here. I'm giving him some smoke because he didn't have the defense ready. He didn't have them ready to go out there and make plays. We made a lot of mistakes. We had a lot of penalties. We had big penalties this game, big penalties on defense, right? Now, when you look at quarterback pressure, we only had 1 sack the entire game, okay? So when I look at the total package, not only Christian Fulton deserves all the smoke today. Yeah. Even before this game, he's actually one of the leaders when it comes to quarterback rating and throwing the passes in his direction, right? At one point in time, he was at 100% quarterback rating, meaning throwing the ball in his direction, you're going to get a completion, and that's what happened again today. So I'm putting it all in a box, and I'm putting a ribbon around it to say that our defense stunk today. Our defense, you got to play better. Mm-hmm. We're playing against the Colts. The Colts are not world beaters. The Colts are very mid, as teenagers say today. They're mid as hell. You cannot sit there and allow Gardner Minshew to look like Brett Favre out there, okay? Third down efficiencies. The Indianapolis Colts was 8 for 13 on third down. That was a problem. Third down defense was terrible, okay? When you look at time of possession, it's about even. They had the ball 31 minutes. We had it 28 minutes, so it was even. But for what they did from an efficiency standpoint, they were much more efficient on third down and having the ball at the time that they had it. On the opposite side, when you look at the offense, I understand the smoke that Tim Kelly is getting. I get that. I thought initially he did a pretty good job, but the thing is, we kept going east and west, not north and south. Third down, we could not convert. We was only 5 for 12 on third down, right? We get the ball up to the red zone. You only could get 3 field goals. He was in the red zone 5 times. That's unacceptable. So I think more than anything, I think the players played hard, except for Christian Fulton. But I think that overall, it just, I'm not going to say we were out-coached. We was not just prepared, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? We were not prepared to make that next leap on offense and on defense. We were stuck at mid-level and couldn't get – all we needed was one big play, and we beat the Colts. And that didn't happen. I kept saying that the whole time, didn't I? We need one big play, and it didn't happen. So we were not prepared. Yep. We underestimated the Colts.
Yep, I agree 100%. And when you say – and I see some people in the comment section, of course. You remember what I said about Shane Bowen? I would have rather had Jim Schwartz as our defensive coordinator versus Shane Bowen. And again, I think Shane Bowen has gotten lucky because he's had the toys, right? Jeffrey Simmons, Byard. He's had smart leaders on the defense that has kept him at bay. But we know and we see when it's time to make adjustments, he's just not doing it, right? I think you could have stopped the run game if you would have made the right adjustments. If you know T.R. Tart's not playing this game, then I know, okay, hey, my best run stopper is not playing. I need to figure out how to equate for one person. Maybe I need to use 3, right? Maybe I can't just use what I have with my linebackers and say, hey, y'all stop and run. This is going to be a group effort today, right? But Jim Schwartz was my guy. Like, that was he did it once when he was with the Titans, and I thought he can do it again. But we know Vrabel is a guy where I feel like he doesn't like anybody that's on his level. And it's kind of hurt. It sucks to say that, but it's almost like, hey, I like you right here while I call the shots, right? Gotcha, so again, shout out to the Colts, man, for getting that win.
That's right. And look at the poll. The poll that we have out here is the reasons why we lost to the Colts. 83% of you are saying the defense, right? That's alarming, right? 10% to Mike Vrabel, 7% to Tim Kelly, and none to Ryan Tannehill. So mostly about the defense. So we're all singing the same song in the same church right now. You know what I mean? We are for real. We are
exactly
for sure.
So we'll move to the next segment, Hawk. Let me ask you this: who are you the most disappointed with in this game? It can be an individual, it can be a set of individuals, it can be whoever you deem to think that you're disappointed with. And also to get the chat involved, hey, who are y'all disappointed with also? And I think a lot of y'all gonna say a lot of people. Go ahead, Hawk.
Yeah. So I think, man, I know you're gonna say Christian Fulton. So I'm gonna that plate that's got the food on it. I'm gonna allow you to serve that plate. I know that because we was on the phone the entire time during the game, and we both were pissed at Christian, but you were really pissed. I'm gonna tell you this, man. For me, bro, I'm giving the smoke. I want to say the whole defense, man. I'm saying the interior. I'm saying in the interior. What I mean is when I look at Pecco, when I look at Gibbons, the inside is where the problem was. Tier Tart did not play. I get that. But in the middle, Cal Pecco, your starting defensive tackle, had one assist. One assist the entire game. And they ran down the middle the entire time. He had one assist, right? One, right? Gibbons had more. They had 7 tackles. But yet and still, they exposed the inside. And then when you look at Azeez Al-Shir, I mean, he made a lot of mistakes this game. You know, he made a lot of tackles. But he missed a lot of tackles, too. Mm-hmm. He missed a lot of tackles, right? So, again, I'm putting and where's Arden Key? He had 2 assists, right? Like guys were not making tackles. They were not there to make big plays. Jeffrey Simmons only had 2 tackles. You see what I'm saying? So where are your guys at when they were running the ball? They didn't throw it a lot. They ran it all the time. So I'm going to put it more on Pecco because you started for Tier Tart and they exposed you, sir. They ran down the middle, daring you to make tackles. So I'm giving this to Cal Pecco as far as, to me, the player that disappointed me the most this game, man, is the inside, and I got to look at who it is. It's Cal Pecco. What about you, Jacques?
Well, you know, like you said it, man. We was on the phone, and we were watching the game, and one person stuck out to me specifically on defense. I can get to the off. I can do anything, but Fulton has really disappointed me throughout this whole season. Throughout his really tenure with the Titans, he has potential, but he can't stay healthy. And today I seen a lack of effort. Okay, and I'm always gonna go back to that play where AR threw the bomb to Josh Downs, right? When I'm looking at you as a DB coming out of your breaks, man, and you're not in position, and you're just standing up, because if you know anything about defensive back, you got to get in that. You got to get low. Y'all seen Dion? If you played, I played it. Hawk, you played DB. We know. Get low so I can get my hips ready. I can make sure I'm ready to make a play. But I'm looking at he's just standing up, and I'm like, what is he doing? Why are you just standing up? So when you're standing up in that instance, instead of him scoring a touchdown, I got to get a penalty, right? So he grabs him. Then he does it again. Then on number 14, I forgot the receiver from the Colts, number 14. Pierce. Yes, Pierce. He just literally stops because he got beat, and he runs right into Pierce. And then he gets up like, what did I do? Well, you know the NFL is really soft on receivers and quarterbacks this year, right? And what I mean by that, if you touch them, you blow on them, you get the flag. Just is what it is, right? That's right. So, you know they're going to call that 9 times out of 10. And it was in a crucial time, too. In a crucial time. Yep. Right? Shout out to their coaching staff. Shout out to the OC because that's film study. That's in-game adjustments. That's paying attention, saying, okay, hey, number 26 out there tripping. Let's test him. Just throw it up there. Let's see what we got to do. Shout out to Anthony Richardson. That tells me that he's been studying. Oh, their weakest corner actually is 26. Let's attack him, right? Yep. Let's keep attacking them. And that's what they did. Shout out to them, right? Something that we didn't do. We haven't had, man, to me, corner-wise with the Titans, we haven't had a decent or a good corner since Finnegan. Algernon Verner was a good corner. And if you are a super Titans fan, you know. Yep. Samari Rowe was the best corner that we had. Best corner we've ever had. That's right. Samari Rowe was the best corner that we had here. My Christmas wish on a bowl in a box is we need a shutdown corner. We need somebody that can shut down that side of the field. That's where we don't have to worry about anything. We've had the worst pass defense in the past, 3 or 4 years? Yep. That's right. That's correct. And we still can't fix it. We say, oh, we got the defensive line that'll take the pressure off the secondary. Well, eventually I need you to do your job. Eventually, I need you to go out there and cover somebody. Something has to change, man, and it has to change fast because it don't get no easier, right? Yep, at this point, right. The teams that you're supposed to beat, you can't even beat them with conjecture, right? You can't even beat them with confidence,
right? That's right.
So
That's
now,
right,
what do we do, right? We just beat the Bengals, which again, when I go back to that game, this is why I was semi-excited because I said, well, let's see if we can beat them. Let's see if we can really beat a team that is like subpar. Because I'm going to say it. I know we got Colts fans in here. Y'all subpar, right? Y'all okay team. You're an okay team, but y'all beat us. And so I got to give y'all flowers. But you're still subpar, right? You can't. When y'all play the Dolphins, y'all probably give them a run for their money, but I still think teams that can you can put up points on the Colts. If you got a good defensive line, you can smack up the Colts. But for some reason, we just can't do it.
Yep.
So that is my player that I am disappointed with, not just in this game, but so far in this season.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. And again, we're looking at the polls again. 81% of those feel the defense was the reason we lost, and all the players we talked about was on defense. So the defense, and to some points there, we see in the chat as well to say we can't get mad at the defense because they only gave up 23 points. At the end of the day, they had Gardner Minshew as a backup quarterback out there. Okay, they had almost 500 yards of offense today. So yes, the defense can get smoked. They deserve the smoke today, and they know that too. You know what I mean? So looking at this game as well, Jacques, moving forward, what are the concerns right now, man? I mean, and, looking at the live chat as well, many of us that are here on the chat feel that the Titans suck right now. 43% of those that are voting are saying that we suck. What do you feel after this game? Where do we go from here right now?
Somebody has to step up, and we know the King has done what he's capable of doing, but everybody knows around the league about the King. I think he only had 43 yards today.
Yep,
43 yards, man. Come on, right? I think it starts at the top, coaching. Okay, the coaches got to figure out something how to get this team back on track, if that makes sense. Because right now, I used to say this, guys, back years ago when we first started our show, said the Titans are the most inconsistent team at being inconsistent. And they're kind of getting back to that, right? They're getting back to we win one game, we lose one game. We win one game, we lose a game. What this year is a trend that's showing me is that we can't win on the road. We haven't won a road game yet, but we can win at home. You see what I'm saying? Trying to figure this thing out, just offensively was our biggest pain point coming into this season. Offensive line didn't do bad today. They blocked, right? Tannehill was doing half decent until he threw the interception at the end of the game. But what surprised me was the defense. Now we got to go back to square one and say, okay, defensively, are we really that good? Are we really that good? Is this really a good football team or are we just mediocre? I think we need to start looking in the mirror, man, and just say, hey, we're okay, if that makes sense.
Yep.
We had a lot of optimism. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I am again, on a previous show, I said I was numb. And I tried to throw a little bit of optimism in there to kind of get me back on my square and say, okay, let me figure this thing out. Let me get myself back in this thing. But now, again, bro, I'm back there. I'm like, where do we go from here? Like somebody said it the best. What is Babel's saying? We play better. We coach better. We play better, right? I'm kind of getting tired. I'm getting tired of hearing that. When is it going to be put on paper? And I feel like today was one of those games we just didn't have enough, if that makes sense, right?
Right.
It's like you there, but you just don't have enough. And I just come to the realization we're an okay football team.
Yeah.
We can't compete with the big dogs.
Nope.
We don't have enough. We don't have enough oomph. We don't have enough speed. We don't have enough. I mean, even on the Zach Moss run, no DB was at least 5 yards behind, 10 yards at least behind him, right? Nobody could hawk him down. That told me we ain't got no speed on nowhere. No, I mean, we got Tajay Spears, but he's only utilized how he's utilized. So that's me. Yep. What about you, Hawk?
Yeah, facts, no paper. I think to me the biggest concern is understanding your identity, right? Who are you when you are a Titan? You are a player walking into the locker room tomorrow. What is it that we do well? Okay, we still can't figure that out. Okay, the offense, this game probably better than most games, but our defense wasn't. The next game is going to probably be the opposite. Understanding, okay, what is our fabric? What is it that we do well? Okay, if we're going to run the ball, that's what we're going to do. Stick to it. Stick to the run. Stick to it. And if you're gonna do play action, be more efficient in your play action. Shout out to D-Hop. D-Hop had 140. I got on the number 10 jersey right now. I mean, it's Vince Young, but we're gonna say it's D-Hop today. 140 yards receiving on 8 catches. When's the last time we seen 100 yards from a receiver, right?
Man,
so
besides AJ.
So if we have a culmination of a mix of on offense, okay, that's fine. But again, we did a lot of east and west. Okay, at times if you're gonna do play action, go deep.
Yep.
Get north and south. Give an opportunity. We didn't score here. We only had 16 points this game. So we could talk so much about how well our offense played, but at the end of the day, we only had 16 points, right? So even on defense, okay, what is your identity? What moving forward when we play a team that can score a lot of points? I'm nervous. If a team like the Miami Dolphins that can put points on the board, I'm nervous because we played a good offensive series this game. We only had 16 points. And then our defense gave up 23 points to a lackluster offense, right? You had a bunch of backups out there with the Colts, and we gave up 20. Jonathan Taylor didn't even play that much, right? We had Zach Moss looking like Bo Jackson today. So it's like, okay, if our defense is going to be a run-stopping defense, do that. But we didn't do that this game. So now it's like, okay, now we're not the number one run defense probably after this game. Now what are we going to do now? Okay, we're struggling at corner. You know what I mean? We got, Christian Fulton out there looking like me out there at corner. What is it that we're going to do? So I have concerns. I do have concerns. And I don't know, we're 0-1 in the division against the Colts. Man, I get the Jags. The Jags supposed to be the best team in the division. We lost to the Colts.
Colts, bro.
We lost to the Colts. Mm-hmm. So we can talk about the Texans, the Jags. We lost to the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
So, Indianapolis, if Colts fans are watching the stream here, hey, congrats to y'all for winning the divisional game. I mean, I wouldn't walk around acting like the Colts are world beaters because they're not. Right. I think their defense is really weak. But for us today, we just didn't execute. We couldn't make that one big play. We couldn't do it this game. Mm-hmm. So I'm concerned. And, looking at the poll as well, a lot of, we have folks that saying changes are needed. And this year we need to improve ASAP. And we do. We do need a change. We do.
Right. We do. And when they say changes are needed, what type of changes, right? I know I've seen the quarterback discussion, of course. 53% says no, 40% says yeah, 47% says yes. Again, I agree, Hawk. We don't have no identity. I mean, and I thought we did, right? We did for a minute, but once that identity, the identity was to run the king, right? But what happens when that identity starts to fade out? What do we do next? That's the problem, right? Right. What do we do next? We don't have any playmakers besides D-Hop. When I look around the league, you have at least one playmaker and a speed guy.
Yep.
Speed is emphasized in this league now. Speed is what you want and what you need. And I don't know why Vrabel – well, I know why Vrabel because he likes his receivers to block. But that needs to change ASAP, right? Somebody said it the best. Sign Tierra Tart. Tierra Tart needs to be signed tomorrow.
Right.
He needs to be signed tomorrow, right?
That's right. Yep.
Al didn't make a case for him because he's on a contract. He only got a 1-year contract. I'm like, hey, man, this won your best game, right?
Right.
From a tackling perspective, you were missing gaps, whatever, right?
Yep. That's right.
It's crazy, man. So, again, this is disappointing. I think you said it, Hawk.
Yep.
It's disappointing, one, that we lost to the Colts. But we've lost to better Colts teams, and you lost almost, I would say it to like that JV team. And how we lost is disappointing. Now you're 0-1 in the division. Now we got a hill to climb. That means we can't make no much more mistakes in the division.
That's right.
Because if we can't win the division, your playoff hopes are really, 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 really thin. Okay, that was our door into the playoffs. Win the division, you get into the playoffs. Now, when I look at it, it's like, I don't know about it, man. I don't know about it.
Yeah, that's true. So, yes, and to your point, too, and losing to the Colts, I don't really think that bodes well for us in the AFC South because I can argue to say that the Colts might be the worst team in the division, and we just lost to them. Again, it is a road game. Yes, we lost at home, and divisional games will always test you, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But I will say, too, again, the Texans are playing with a lot of confidence. The Jags are as well, too. So we have to be ready because for us to make the playoffs, we got to win the division. These other teams in the AFC are going to win enough games. For us, that's what we have to do. You know what I mean? And Swizzle, that's a great point as far as putting pressure on the backup quarterback. So we did talk about that a bit early in the show. But yes, when you look at it, we only had one sack at the end of the day. So what we're saying is we lost this game based on the defense. We putting the defense all in the box. lack of pass rush, lack of coverage, especially on deep thirds, and a lack of tackling. That's pretty much all the facets of defense. And we didn't do well in any of that. You know what I mean? To a backup quarterback for sure. So, yeah, so all of that is a part as to why we lost to the Indianapolis Colts for sure.
Right. So,
yeah. So I will tell you all this as well. If you haven't followed us yet on Bleacher Report, follow us now at Lorenzo_the Hawk. You can follow Jacques at Jacques Merrill as well. We're on YouTube as well. Hey, we out there, man. We're here, man. We're here. So yeah, and to Tez's point, Jacques, missing Tier Tarden Burks was big today. Would you agree?
Yes, because you had a portion of the fan base, not the big portion, but they were saying Burks is washed up, Burks is this, Burks. No, you needed Burks today, okay?
Yep.
You need Burks out there because he gives you an extra element with your receiving core that's already thin, that's already has a lack of talent, right?
That's right.
Because if we would have had Burks out there, I think we would have had that extra push to get to where we need to get to, if that makes sense. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, he's dropped a couple of balls, but in this instance, I think you needed another one because Chris Moore didn't do nothing. Nick Westbrook didn't do nothing. It was all D-Hop and Tajay Spears when he can catch and Derrick Henry. Those are your three receivers. No, great call out, Tez. Like, seriously.
That is.
Pay Tier. Tier is an important part of our defense, and now it shows, right?
Yep, that's right. That's right, man.
And Cal Phillips. Hold on, he said Cal Phillips. Look at that. Now, is that we didn't utilize him, or didn't he not show up?
Well, I think a little bit of both.
Yeah,
I think a little bit of both. So we, as you all know, again, we do play the Baltimore Ravens next. That's next on our calendar. Looking at what we did today, are we winning? Are we beating the Ravens?
Well, I'm gonna say this about the Ravens. I watched a little bit of that game. They're almost in the same boat too, Hawk.
Yep.
I think they're a little bit more talented on the receiving aspect, just by that alone and how our defense played. And you got Lamar Jackson running the ball like he run. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't trust it.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm gonna say this, and I think this is my word. I don't trust them. I don't trust the Tennessee Titans right now. I don't trust what they say. I don't trust what they do. They can say, yeah, we'll stop them. I got to see it. From here on out, I have to see it. I don't trust you anymore.
Right. Yep.
So
agreed.
I can say, yeah, we'll go down there and lose, or we'll go out there and win. I just don't know, but I don't trust them.
Gotcha, man. Well, I'm going to say this as well as far as us playing against the Ravens in London next week. I think it's going to be a struggle for us because of Lamar Jackson running the ball. Yep. Yes, offensively, they did struggle, but they have a much better defense than the Colts, right? And they have even probably more playmakers on the Ravens. If for some reason it just didn't work out today. But Lamar Jackson being the biggest problem running the football. And again, we have those in our live stream that's saying, that we won't win, say, 56%. I think we're saying the same thing. Now, we'll watch more tape. But we want to just throw that out there early to kind of get an idea of what you all feel about the Titans as we move forward. We beat the crap out of the Bengals. We lose to the Colts. The way it's been going, we should beat the Ravens and lose the next game. That's kind of how it's been. But, we'll have opportunities against the Ravens to score points, and we'll see what happens for sure.
I agree.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, yeah. So, folks, we want to say thank you all for tuning in to our Bleacher Report show. We hope you enjoyed the show, y'all. Again, we got more games coming up this season for the post game. Again, the Tennessee Titans did lose did lose today, 23-16. Again, 0-1 in the division. If you want to check us out, you can check us out again here on Bleacher Report next week. You can also check us out on YouTube at Tennessee Titans Weekly. We're on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly, and we're on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7.
Yep. And again, we appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen, for watching us, sticking with us. We got plenty of content, like Hawk said, coming up, even here, YouTube. We're kind of everywhere. Come check us out, and our next show will be about the Ravens. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. But take us out, Hawk.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, I can say the word win in English in London terms, right? So hopefully that's what we can do next week, man. So hey, we want to say thank you again. We hope you have a good rest of your week. Check us out pregame show and postgame as well. And as we always say, Jacques, facts,
no paper.